I went to Maker Faire, I met these guys, and all we got was
Microjig, maker of the gripper. Work safer, work smarter.
This week's episode is also sponsored by Audible.com. I'm back working on our craft room makeover this week with this cool little mobile storage cabinet for sewing supplies. I guess you can keep whatever you want in it. The top drawer is fake because it has a lift-up lid for storing spools of thread. I designed this project so that you could use 1.5" or 38mm wide furring strips right off the rack from the home center. On this particular occasion, they didn't really have any good ones. So I got some wider boards that I'll just rip down to size. I'll use pocket screws to join these pieces together. Now I've got the 4 frames. These are the front and back, which are a little bit wider than the 2 side frames. On this front face frame, I need to attach these 4 boards that I'll use to divide the drawers. To space them apart evenly, I've cut out a spacer board. I'll set it in down here, and then I'll be able to screw this one into position. And I'll use it for the next one. Now all I need to do is join all 4 of these together. The bottom of this cabinet is inset a little bit so that the wheels are kind of hidden. I can glue and tack this bottom piece onto those cleats. And I'll drop the back in next. And now for the 2 sides. All of these boards are the drawer runners. I'll just glue and tack them into place too. I can use that same spacer as before to line up the rest of the runners. I'm constructing the drawers out of 1/2" or 13mm plywood. This group of blades sandwiched together is called a Dado stack. I'll use it for cutting grooves to hold the bottoms of the drawers. That's a quick method of making that shoulder on all of these pieces. You could also use a router. Some of you may remember the incident I had the last time I tried to make drawers. I'm hoping to avoid that this time. I'm gonna glue and tack these together with the bottoms all at the same time. Gluing them in now will help square the drawers up. This time I'm gonna test this one before I build the other 3. Looks good. The top is just a piece of plywood with these strips added as edge banding. I cut out these boards to use for the drawer faces, and I'm gonna add a decorative profile. You know what that means. I need to drill a hole in the centers of each of the drawers and the drawer faces. I'm finding the centers by connecting the diagonals. The screw on these knobs isn't long enough to go through both the drawer face and the drawer. So I've got kind of a 3-part system here. First I need to drill a small pilot hole. Now I can tell where the center is on the inside. That'll act as a guide for this larger bit. And finally I'll use this bit to drill all the way through. Then use that same bit to drill a hole through the drawer face. Then to put the knob on, I'll use this washer, send that screw through here, send it through that hole, and now that washer will fit into that large hole. And with that all set up, I'll be able to take this off so that I can paint it. And this is the very top shelf. Rather than painting it, I decided to try something different this time. I'm using this antiquing wax. I put all the drawer faces back on, and with that one knob holding them, there's still room to adjust them. So now I can get them all lined up. And with those looking pretty good, I can put a couple of screws in the back side. This false drawer front is going to be a little trickier. I'm going to see if I can clamp it into place and then screw it on. Here in the craft room, this is going to fit right over here. Hey everybody, I'd like to take just a moment to talk to you about the sponsor of this week's episode, Audible.com. The book I'd like to recommend this month is awesome. It's The Martian by Andy Weir. Are you guys familiar with this book? It's interesting because my whole family has read this book in different formats. My son was assigned this in his English class and read it in a hardcover. He told us how much he loved it, and so my wife downloaded it and read it on her Kindle, and I downloaded it and listened to it on Audible. They're actually making this book into a movie. It's going to star Matt Damon, and it's directed by Ridley Scott. I'm really looking forward to this. It's about an astronaut who is stranded on Mars. The team that he's with thinks that he has died in an accident, and they decide they need to leave and head back to Earth. The author is very knowledgeable about NASA and spaceflight, and everything in the book is plausible. Martian is the most exciting book I've read in a long time. I was riveted to every word. If you've already read The Martian, leave a comment down below and tell me what you thought of it. And don't forget, that's one of over 150,000 audiobooks available at audible.com. And Audible wants to give viewers of Woodworking for Mere Mortals a free audiobook by going to audible.com/woodworking. I want to thank all of you who have taken advantage of this offer, and I hope you enjoy these audible.com spots. Audible.com/woodworking. This top part is going to hold spools of thread, and I'm going to make some special inserts for that. I hope to have those on a Mere Mini. Of course, you could make the top drawer an actual working top drawer, especially if you think that this is going to be filled with clutter and you don't want to have to remove everything just to open it up. If you'd like to make your own roll-around cabinet just like this one, check down below for a free set of plans. I'd like to thank you for watching this week's episode of Woodworking for Mere Mortals, and remind you that I post brand new woodworking videos every Friday on this channel. I'd love to have you subscribe. If you find projects like this valuable, please consider supporting Woodworking for Mere Mortals on my Patreon page with a small monthly pledge. In large part, it's because of the support from viewers like you that enable me to produce this content week after week. Thank you for watching, everybody. I'll see you next week. They're surprisingly easy to make. I hope this is enough to get you started and at least remove the intimidation factor.